All right, guys. First off, Notre Dame's got a great football team. They played like the number 3 team in the country today. They made plays on the ball. We had 3 interceptions. We lost the field position war big time. You're never going to win a game, and you're probably going to lose big when you throw 3 interceptions. Joey didn't have a great day, but like I said, you got to give their offense and their defense and their special teams credit. They made plays, and we didn't. But time of possession, 40-20, we couldn't sustain drives offensively and put our defense in tough situations. And when you do that against the number 3 team in the country, you're going to have problems winning football games. So I'll open it up for questions.
And how do you explain how things got out of hand there? You mentioned a couple of stats there, but what actually went wrong?
Well, I mean, again, like I said, I'm going to start off again giving Notre Dame credit. Period. They're the number 3 team in the country. They played like it. It's as good as football teams I've seen walk on a field, in the last 6 years. They are talented. They're talented from front to back on both sides of the ball, and we got beat by a better football team. Period. I'm sure the tape will see that. I'll watch the tape and we'll evaluate it and probably have more answers for you when we get together again. I don't know if that's Monday or not. I don't know what our schedule is with EJ. But I feel comfortable talking with you again on Monday if that's what EJ says. I don't know with the open week what our schedule is, but I like to watch the tape before I make any comments. But again, I'm going to give credit to Notre Dame. They are a really good football team. They're physical. They're big. Like I told you last Monday, they're a talented football team. I thought we'd stack it up better. I thought we'd be able to throw the ball better. I did not think we'd run the ball great on that front, which they're top run defense in the country. I think, and that's what it is. So we'll reevaluate, we'll regroup. I think we need an open week. I think there's only 2 Power 5 teams in the country that have played 7 games or 6 games for that matter, and we just got to regroup and find ourselves.
With 1:22 left in the first half, there you guys have 3 timeouts. You're on Notre Dame's 36-yard line. You guys kind of just sit on the ball? Are you content at that point going into the half with what it was, or what happened there?
I'm never content, but with 1:22, I didn't feel like we're going to get in a 2-minute drill and do anything crazy, and then we give up a block punt. But with 1:22, and the backup quarterback in there, didn't want to go slinging it around the park and see something bad happen. So, we figured we needed to regroup and get in at the half and just see what we had to do.
Pat, I think it was early in the second quarter. You guys decided to punt at Notre Dame's 37. Was there any? What was the process there in deciding not to have Alex attempt a long field goal?
Another field goal. I think it was going to be a longer field goal than we wanted to. The wind out there was swirling a little bit at that time, and just didn't feel comfortable. Thought it was better off just to pin them, not give them a short field, and play defense.
Yeah, the defense has given up a lot of big plays, long touchdowns during this, these last 4 games. Is it simply is it the front end not getting home, or are there mistakes in the back end that you're seeing repeatedly?
There's a little bit of both. I mean, on the one they hit, the big one, we brought pressure. We hit the quarterback right as he released it. So, again, I'd have to watch the tape and see how our paths were when we did blitz. We did blitz on that down. We were in cover 3. And, you got a 6'3" receiver on a smaller corner, I think. A little push off, whatever, a little lean on a guy. And number 11 makes a big play. And then, Eric Cowell came out of the middle of the field. He's got to finish it up and at least give us another yard to stand on there.
Pat, can you talk about the quarterback play? You mentioned Yellen having a rough day, but also Bevel looked like, he only got 1 series and before he went to Patty. What was it like to kind of juggle quarterbacks out there today?
It's not easy. It's not easy juggling quarterbacks, but, we'll look at the tape and see where we are at the quarterback, but it's not easy when, you have your backup in there and, again, against a really good defense.
Pat, when talking about some of those long touchdowns that you guys have given up during ACC play here, as a coach, what, if anything, can be done to fix that or to prevent those? Or at this point, does this just seem like kind of a fundamental flaw with this group?
I don't know if I'd call it fundamental flaws. Our defense is on the field for a long time today, almost 41 minutes. We got to make plays on the ball. We'll look at the paths. We'll look what happened. I'll give Ian Book a lot of credit. I mean, even when we did try to, almost get him. How many times did we almost get him and he scrambled? I don't know. He might have been the leading rusher. He had a nice day rushing the ball and scrambling out of there, which we knew he had, escapability. He's a great athlete. He didn't make any bad decisions. We didn't force him to make bad decisions. He put the ball up where it needed to be. And like I said, I give Ian Book, credit. We put a lot of guys on their back in the backfield, and we couldn't catch him today. He was outstanding, and he manages the game. And I told you he's a leader. We just didn't get him. There's opportunities we had to put him in, whether it was getting off the field on third down and sacking him, and all of a sudden he scrambles for. I think the first series of the game he had 2 third down scrambles where we just couldn't get off the block and make a tackle on him. So we'll look at that. And like I said, their offensive line, 129 starts. They played like it today, and we couldn't get the pressure. And Ian Book made people miss.
Do you expect to get Kenny back this season?
Excuse me.
Do you expect Kenny back this season?
You broke up again. I'm sorry, Jerry.
Do you expect to get Kenny back this season?
Absolutely. Hopefully sooner than later. He was out there today, and he had a good week. He's doing really well. We'll see. Might be a stretch for Florida State. I don't know, but we'll see.
Looking on more of the offensive side, there were a lot of drops. So how would you address that going into the bye week here and kind of coming out there?
We'll look at the tape. I don't know if there was a lot of drops. I don't know if we had enough balls where they needed to be. I'm not sure how accurate we were today as quarterbacks and throwing the football. We'll look at that, but we got to make plays when the ball comes to us. We had a couple, balls weren't, put where they need to be put. Whether it's over the middle and hanging a receiver out, whatever it may be. We'll look at the tape and see exactly where we are there.
Pat, it looked like Paris wasn't very happy about when he came out of the game in the third quarter. Can you talk about what went into the decision to take him out then?
Well, it was nothing that we were taking him out for any reason. We talked all week, just by rotating those guys that we wanted to get Brandon Hill in the game and get him active. We thought with a lot of the 12 personnel we were seeing, the 2 tight ends, that Brandon's a good football player. I mean, Brandon, in my opinion, is a starter at safety as well. We got a lot of faith in him. He's a good hitter, and that's really what it was. But nobody wants to be taken out of the game. It wasn't taken out of the game for any reason except to give Brandon Hill, a series. And I guess he wasn't happy. I'm not sure, but that happens sometimes.
All right, Coach. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
But we got one more question here.
One more.
Yeah,
Coach, you talked about the bye week coming up and just getting this team back on the winning track. I mean, what was the message at halftime, if you could share it, to just get these guys focused moving forward?
I said, hey, it's 0-0 at halftime. We're going to go out and play it. I think our kids played hard. We just outmatched today for whatever reason. Like I said, I'm going to give credit to Notre Dame. I think they're big. I think they're physical. I think they're fast. Obviously, they're well coached. And the message at halftime was like, hey, we go out and regather and go. And, I can't tell you we played a worse second half than we did first half. It's about the same from what I saw, except for a couple picks and, a couple more short yards. I mean, we gave up a block, a block punt, and, they didn't score in the fourth quarter. And we had a 49-yard drive for a touchdown, and he had a 35-yard drive for a touchdown. So those are short fields, and offenses, will drool when they get those short fields. It opens up the playbook to do whatever you want to do. You're in 4-down territory in both those situations, and it's not easy. I mean, both touchdowns, I believe, and they had a field goal. Looking at it, 14 plays, 72 drive. Our guys played hard, forced a field goal in the third. And then we had, like I said, that 49-yard drive and a 35-yard drive for touchdowns. And our guys never quit and they never questioned their effort. Like I said, I'm not so sure the second half wasn't better than the first half, but it's a good football team that we played today. They're the number 3 team in the country. And I would imagine you're probably looking at a Clemson Notre Dame based on what I've seen in an ACC championship game.
All right, Coach.
Did the penalties bother you more than anything else?
Penalties, you said? No, there's a lot
Yes.
of things that bother me. I don't know what the penalties were for the day, but now I'm just looking at it right now. 12 penalties, yeah. I mean, there's just little penalties here and there, and they'll get you. So yeah, penalties bother me when I see 12, and that's more than we had last week.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Coach.
Have a good.
Our first player representative will be Bryce Harger, offensive lineman, number 71. Once he's unmuted, we'll open up for questions for Bryce.
Bryce, what made the going so tough today offensively, especially on the ground?
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, well, what made it? I mean, you knew their defensive front was good, but what made it so difficult running the ball today?
I mean, a number of things made it difficult. You know, they're a good team. We didn't perform how we were supposed to, and we just gotta get better this week, or get better in this off bye week. You know, and look what happened, watch the film, and then correct it.
Bryce, how can you explain what's been happening the last few weeks with a team loaded with a lot of juniors and seniors?
I mean, obviously we have some tough losses. You know, and I think our leadership is staying positive. We're not giving up. You know, we still have 4 games to go. We got this bye week to get better, so we're just staying positive and trying to get better, trying to figure out the problem.
Bryce, how would you describe the halftime locker room and kind of the mood and what you guys kind of discussed at that point?
It was positive. We wanted to go in the second half with a 0-0 attitude, keep playing. You know, no negativity. We were just positive. You know, focusing on the next half and not the last half.
Bryce, what you'd said an answer or two ago about keeping the right frame of mind and pushing forward. Do you feel like this team is a big win or two in it still to come down the stretch, despite the losing streak that you're in right now?
Yeah, I fully believe we're going to turn it around. You know, this time is going to be good for us. You know, we're going to figure out what's happening, what's going on, and what we can do to improve. You know, we're going to have a good attitude, and we're going to keep pushing.
Kind of along those lines, what is the big thing that you guys really need to hone in on changing here in order to move forward?
I'm not sure. I can't say exactly, you know, but we're gonna watch this film, watch the last game, watch some FSU film, and, you know, we're gonna try to figure it out together.
Do we have any final questions for Bryce?
Yes, Bryce, can you talk about the challenge of not only playing without Kenny Pickett, but then having 3 different backup quarterbacks go in and have their struggles?
I mean, I feel like any team would struggle losing their starting quarterback, but, you know, those guys are still learning. They're new. We're still learning them, you know, so we're just going to stick behind them and encourage them, and we're all going to get better.
All good. Bryce, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Final player representative is going to be linebacker number 36, Chase Pine. We'll open it up for questions for Chase.
Chase, how difficult will it be for you guys to bounce back from not just today, what's been going on in the past month?
Us as a team, we have no quit, honestly. Like you said, we do got to bounce back. Just keep fighting through the days, and it's going to happen.
Chase, what was the message from whether it's Narduzzi or some of the older players in the locker room after a game like that?
As you can see, we just didn't have the game that we wanted, so everybody was on the same page. Everybody was just like, this isn't how Pitt should be playing. Tough loss, and give credit to Notre Dame. Just wasn't a good game by us. But the message after the game was more of as like, we got to keep chugging on. We have 4 games left, so we got to worry about those.
Could you maybe go into the difficulty of staying on the field for that long? The offense didn't have many sustained drives, and you were kind of forced to stay on the field a lot with Notre Dame's offense. So could you kind of go into more of how difficult that was?
Any team doesn't like to be out there too long, but yeah, it takes a toll on the defense. But hey, we gotta stop them when we do that sudden change. So it's not any discredit, but we gotta step up as a defense and take control of the situation we're at.
Chase, you've still got some pretty big games in the schedule late, Clemson, Virginia Tech, opponents like that. Do you think this team has the fiber in it to bounce back and maybe still have a hat-hanging victory for itself between now and the end of the season?
As you saw, Wake Forest beat Virginia Tech today, so anything can happen in the ACC. So we're just going to keep fighting through the week. And, the next 4 games are going to be crucial games that we have to step up and win. And if we get those wins, then it will be a different conversation that we're having right now. So,
Chase,
what?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Chase, what do you believe has led to the number of big plays, and what can you guys do to shore that up? What's been missing there?
I would say the big plays, the discipline, details. I can't really say anything for the calls, but just they made better plays than we did today.
The last one.
Chase, you guys came into the season very confident and started pretty strong, but you guys have had 4 straight games with 30 or more points allowed and 4 quarterbacks that have thrown more touchdowns against you guys than they have against anyone else. What are you guys talking about amongst yourselves to try and keep yourselves together and find those answers within your own unit?
Us as a defense, me being the mic, we just got to come together. We have to be one unit. We can't be out there on 3 different levels we have to play for each other, honestly. It's more as of a family type of thing. Like you said, we gave up a lot of points. That's on us. We got to do a better job, and I promise you it'll be better moving on forward.
John, go ahead, last one.
With Ian Book's just kind of the way that he kind of maneuvered the pocket today, whether it was him getting outside and scrambling early or just avoiding those sacks, avoiding those opportunities, how frustrating was that as a defense to know that you guys were really close to bringing him down a handful of times and he was just able to wiggle out?
Ian Book is a competitor. He's going to do what he can do, and he stepped up when he needed to. So give him the credit. But like you said, wish we could have got those sacks. But and the game's over now. We really know what we can do about it. But
all right, Chase. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you all for joining us. This concludes our post-game press conference tonight.